Hey, what's up? This is Halcyon, and we're having a happy hour Hug Nation, listening to David Starfire's Radical Ritual mix, which is just inspired. I've listened to it on repeat for like a week now. It's available on SoundCloud, free download, David Starfire, Radical Ritual mix. Could not endorse the mix more. Seriously, I think it's inspired. I actually had a download that I feel like God wants me to use music from him in my next video, but I can get into that later. Creed, I have an appointment with Creed to get my roots done next week, so no judgment, alright? We are in an in-between phase right now. No judgment. The sun is setting, so my apologies for imposing my human presence on something so perfect. We will try to take breaks as needed to appreciate the sunset. So I wanted to... You may have seen I posted a video yesterday. I said it was the most important Burning Man video on the internet. Is the volume too loud? Can you hear me? Oh, by the way, did I mention this happy hour? Today we're having a St. Archer double IPA. Oh. Yay! Jenna Davis has got an amazing, all healthy, wonderful sunscreen company. So if you want to post your link here, huge fan. I just ordered a bunch of it to give as gifts to my family and to use myself because I'm sensitive to the sun. Cheers, everyone. Happy hour. So I posted a video. It was an edit of something I recorded a couple years ago, and included new footage from Diego, 3-year-old Diego, and included some clips from my grandpa. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And it's gotten 20,000 views in the last 24 hours, which feels super good to me. And I did something that I don't normally do. I really pushed it, you know? Normally I'm like, oh, I simply put the videos up. If you would like to watch it, but who am I to say what you should or shouldn't watch? And this time I'm like, please watch this, please share it. I even called it the most important Burning Man video on the internet. And I had lunch today with my dear brother Dimitri, and he was like, what was up with you saying such a bold statement? Like, you know, that sounds so unlike you to make a claim like that. And the truth is, it is unlike me to say, this is important, you should watch this. And in fact, somebody, you know, I posted in a few places, and somebody posted in a thread, they're like, hey man, it's a good video, but the most important video about Burning Man on the internet? And I'm like, yes! I didn't say it's the best portrayal of Burning Man. It does not show the magic, it does not show the beauty and the art, it doesn't explain Burning Man, but I still believe it is the most important message. And if you haven't watched it, really the gist of it is that Burning Man is a beautiful thing. It wakes you up, it's so magical, but the important part is having the courage to keep being the person you are out there year-round. It's easy when everyone around you is hugging you and giving you gifts and supporting you and rubbing your back. But being that same person, gifting, opening your heart, being vulnerable in a world that does not reflect it back to you, that's the warrior path, and that's what we need to challenge ourselves. And that is, I think, the important message, and that's why I feel so strongly. And honestly, if you disagree with me, if you want to like dismiss me or pshaw me, I don't care. Like, I truly feel of service in this way, and it's something that's changed in me in the last few weeks, since going to the eclipse and since going to this year's burn and the incredible, powerful highs and lows. I am a believer. If it isn't obvious right now, I have faith. I believe that when you let out your heart song, you are the medicine that the world needs. And Burning Man is a powerful tool to do that, but it only works if the medicine extends beyond Black Rock City. And I believe it does. I don't think it has a choice. I think that if you truly sink in and surrender and do the work and let it out, you find in a place like, I have to be of service. Just like the duocracy that you do in Black Rock City, you cannot avoid. I take that back. You can absolutely slip back into your patterns. That's why I think this is an important message. But if you are committed to the principles, and if you are committed to your path of discovery and your personal truth, you will find yourself in a place of service, because being your true self, following your heart song, sharing your gifts and your art, whatever it is, whether it is physical or mental or spiritual or presence, whatever your gifts are, when you share that with the world, you are healing the world. As you heal yourself, as you become authentic and true, you are the medicine the world needs. And so, do I think that's the most important message about Burning Man on the internet? Yes! I think it's the most important message in the world, and Burning Man is the mechanism that I have learned it and that I am able to practice it. Do I sound like I'm aggressively saying this? Well, then I'm aggressively saying this because I believe. Like Morpheus says, whether you it doesn't matter if you believe me or not. I know, I believe, it's not belief, it's truth, it's knowledge to me. I have seen it, I have felt it, so you don't have to believe me. I don't really care. And that's why, as people have been bad-mouthing me, as people have been saying, like, really, I'm kind of invincible right now in terms of judgment, because I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm simply speaking my truth, and that simply is. That's like, you can judge the shape of a cloud, you can judge the color of the sunset. It just is. So, sorry, got a little bit of roll there. Look at this. Did you see this? Did you see this? Oh my God! How about that? We are listening to the inspired new mix by David Starfire, Radical Ritual. I played it at the Burn. It is free on SoundCloud. Seriously, it is inspired. I've listened to it literally 40 times in the last week. And the thing is, like, I'm speaking my truth, but honestly, I don't believe it's my truth. I believe it is simply truth that is clear to me. It might not be the only truth, but it is a truth. So, just like this, and, you know, I found myself in a situation a couple minutes ago where I got a little defensive as someone was being critical about Burning Man. And I don't believe that Burning Man is not deserving of criticism. But I get frustrated when people make a laundry list of all that's wrong. It's like, I'm in a relationship with Burning Man, and so it is my responsibility to see the beauty as well as be in partnership and be in a duocracy and work to change the things accept the things that I'm not willing to change, and work to change the things that I am not okay with. You can make a laundry list of everything that's wrong with your partner and you can be miserable, or you can see their beauty and their perfection and be supportive and see them as their highest self, and therefore help them to achieve their highest self. And that is my relationship with Burning Man. So, do I get a little defensive at times? Yeah. In the same way that if you badmouth my family, listen to this. Actually, I'm supposed to do Landmark Forum next weekend, and I have to postpone it because I'm so not in the headspace to be beaten down and told that I'm wrong, because I feel so in the zone and so in the flow right now. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really in the mood for criticism of my worldview or my sense of self or my, yeah. I will be eventually. This will fade, I'm sure, and I will forget, and I will be open to that, but right now I'm not. Plus, that's actually not the reason why I'm postponing it. My dad is getting recognized as a judge of some special honor, and so there's a special event that he asked me to come to, and the last time he asked me to come to an event was when he was sworn in as a judge like 20 years ago. So I have allegiance to my family. So actually this song is Missy Elliott, but maybe there's a delay. And the mix is David Starfire's new mix, Radical Ritual. So, how's your week going? Anne's saying she's never been to Burning Man, and not in the cards, but you still learn so much from the videos, and that really means a lot to me because, and I try to frame the things I talk about with that understanding that Burning Man is a tool. It's like, it's my gym, it's my church, it's my congregation, but it is not the only gym, it is not the only church, it is not the only congregation. It is a place where you can be supported as you follow your truth. And I think that environment of being supported as you follow your truth, that's important. But that can be a Comic-Con crew, it can be a knitting circle, it can be the Juggalos, it can be your Dungeons and Dragons crew. I really don't feel like I'm at risk of being brainwashed, but I am open to conversations. I know a number of beautiful people who have such high things to say about Landmark, and so maybe that's a conversation for another time. I really don't want to get into that right now. But if you want to message me and tell me why I shouldn't do it, I would certainly be open to that. I know that their promotional techniques are terrible, but oh, listen. Look at this. So, I highly suggest, if you have an opportunity, check out the new video that I put online saying the most important Burning Man video on the internet. It's really about my grandfather and about following your path and following your heart song, and the level of richness and life abundance that you will reach when you follow your truth. That at the end of the day, if you live according to your truth, and I'm slowly figuring this out, but my grandpa figured it out in a profound way. It doesn't matter what you have. You don't need security. You don't need wealth or acquisitions. You have a sense of peace that is untouched by abundance of the physical world. I also just put up a video called What I Left at the Burning Man Temple that, if you haven't watched that one yet, it's pretty intense. It contains semen, snot, and tears. Not visual semen, but I tell stories that involve semen. When I talk about the rag in that video, I didn't want to be overt, but I'm talking about a cum rag. I'm talking about a ornate tapestry that I used to wipe up a post-coital threesome that was done in a ritualistic way with the intention of leaving that rag in the temple. And so the new video talks about that and about the profound experiences I had at the temple with really visiting my ancestors. Thank you, Corey. I feel dialed in right now. It could be the double IPA. Tonight we're having a St. Archer. It could be the Sunset. It could be the Afterglow of Burning Man. That I keep meeting people that go, "Hey, welcome back," and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not back. No. I'm like 50% back. I'm still dusty on the inside for sure." We are listening to David Starfire's mix, Radical Ritual. It's inspired. Oh, I'm so glad that the videos have been resonating with people. Thank you, Lisa and Gareth. Agnes, I had such a good time at the Pink Party at Camp Walter. I for years people kept saying, "You got to go to the Pink Party. You got to go to the Pink Party," which I'm like, "Of course I got to go to the Pink Party," but for some reason it just never worked out. And this year I'm like, I have to go, and I had so much fun. Mad respect for Camp Walter and all that they do and the vibe that they've got. It felt like I was meeting cousins that I'd never met before. It was awesome. Doug Ireland's got a question for me. No offense, I promise. None taken. As I said a minute ago, I am in a state right now where I'm really at peace with things. So you're welcome to. You can ask a question. You can offer judgment. You can criticize. I'm really. It's not personal right now. I'm of service at this moment in my life, and I'm open to be corrected. I'm open to be taught a new way or an error. But until, like when someone said, they said, "Oh, I can't believe you said your video is great, but it's not the most important on the internet." I go, I'm happy to yield the throne. Show me a more important video, and I hello, Redskin! Good to see you! Boom! Now I'm trembling in anticipation of a potentially offensive question from Doug. I will field as many questions as possible if anyone else has a question, or this could be personal, or a question for me, or a thing that's going on in your life. This is really, look at this. I mean, whatever I'm saying, you should take it with a grain of salt, but this? I am ashamed to say that I do not surf. Occasionally I will get into the water. Occasionally I will body surf. I do find Doug was saying that it was ironic that I tucked it in without ego, but there was video in the top right. Well, that was a situation where I had a GoPro with me quite a bit during the burn, just to capture things, just in case. And I happened to walk through the temple with me afterwards. I mean, I don't know. I didn't give it a lot of thought. And so when I made the video, I was like, oh, I actually have footage that illustrates this moment, or right after this moment. So it seemed to be a helpful part of the storytelling, since I had visuals that went with it, that I would share it. I didn't give a lot of thought to it, and I didn't spend a lot of time editing it. I just kind of threw it in the corner. So I agree that it's potentially ironic, but I also wanted to, I felt like I tried to visually paint a picture, and I happened to have footage that painted the picture, so I figured, why not share it? Paula, I'm glad that you were saved, and if I reflected anything that helped you, I am honored beyond words. Green screen? How can I convince you otherwise? I've got a light here that is... because otherwise the light is too bright behind me. But I've got my video light on me, and I've got something magical behind me here. Patty's saying my Burning Man adventures are green screen. It's true. It's true. I'm actually I'm an extremely sophisticated AI and computer simulation. They call me Halcyon Headroom. Esto! What a treat to see you. I love you too, Doug. Dustin, you saved me. What? You know what? I'm a big fan of what Ram Dass said, which is that we're all walking each other home. So, if at any point I have played a helpful role in your path, it is merely my reflection of your miracle light, and it is an honor beyond words to walk the path with you. Ipek, hello! And Darren Cohen, one of my dearest, oldest friends, my partner in my early Burning Man days. So excited to reconnect with you and go to Utopia with you, and hopefully reconnect before then. I got your message today, but I spent the day with Dimitri, and I'm kind of behind on things, so my apologies. And Katie's here, who I'm supposed to get coffee with tomorrow. I hope that works out. Sweet dreams, Patty. We are drinking a St. Archer Double IPA and listening to David Starfire's Radical Ritual Burning Man 2017 mix, which is inspired. The beer is also fantastic. The sunset puts it all to shame. Jay, seriously, how good are cookies? Did you get a oatmeal raisin one? Because those were like, to me, that's a Pink Heart cookie. He made other cookies. He made ones in Pink Heart shapes and sugar cookies, but the oatmeal raisin caramel were just like off the chart. That's, to me, that's a cookie, and I told him, I'm like, that's all you should make. They're genius. Genius! Thank you, Matthew. I don't know if you can hear this music, but if you cannot, you should seriously make a point of listening to David Starfire's Radical Ritual mix. I have not gotten this excited about a music mix in a long time. I mean, DJ Lath, who uses songs with my voice in it, I get excited about those, but this is like, I can't give hints about what Cookie's got plans for next year. It's really, he's an inspired gifting phenomenon. If you don't know, Cookie is a campmate of mine who this year brought 11,000 of his own recipe cookies to gift. He gifted away boxes and boxes and brought boxes to camps and said, here's for you. And he gave boxes to campmates and said, give away a box of cookies. It was so amazing. You can't go wrong with Raisin Oatmeal and David Starfire. That's what I'm talking about, Harley. Simple truths. Simple truths. Boom! Yeah! My wrist ribbon, it says Pink Heart. Love more, fear less. It's the only thing that's still on my wrists. We have a security campmate only bracelet for Pink Heart that you have to have one on if you're in the private area of Pink Heart, or you have to be accompanied by someone with it. It is for security reasons. It is for legal reasons. It is for police presence reasons. We cannot let people wander around in our back area. And actually, I got into some interesting conversations. I had somebody who was quite critical of that. And they were like, in our camp, we welcome strangers and new people to wander through our camp. We always want them in our private areas. It's part of our radical inclusion. And I was like, awesome. As long as that's how you've defined your boundaries. We have a huge private or public area, and we invite everyone into that. And then we have a very defined private area where we need to know that if you're back there, you've been vetted, so that we know that we can be naked, we can smoke, we can act in a way that we would not act in a public way, that we would not act in front of police, we would not act in front of a child. And I feel very comfortable with that definition of radical inclusion. That, to me, radical inclusion is all about, radical inclusion means that you are everyone, every expression is welcome at Burning Man. But everyone is not welcome everywhere all the time. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like, I had an experience this week where someone kind of crossed some boundaries and kept finding their way into my private area and into my RV, and it affected me in a negative way to feel like that I wasn't safe and I didn't have my private space and I didn't have it messed with me a little bit. You wish you can come into my camp with me next year. Well, that's a little forward. But the truth is, I'm pretty promiscuous, so I'm sure it'll work out. Jennifer Quest, hello! Welcome to the sunset. Are you enjoying the same sunset right now? Look at this! Oh my goodness! Boom! And Jason Starr is here. Whee! Was the marriage you had at Pink Heart this year the first one? Actually, no, we've had dozens of marriages at Pink Heart. But the one that I spoke about during my broadcast that had to do with strangers who met at Pink Heart 2 years ago and fell in love, and then got engaged last year at Pink Heart, and then got married this year at Pink Heart, that was a first. To have this multi-year, profound love story that was all so storybook and all within the Pink Heart vibe, that was something special and unique for me. We had a number of weddings actually. We had campmates that got married. That was so cool. But even as cool as that was, there was something additionally magical about seeing strangers who considered Pink Heart and the vibe of Pink Heart and the love of Pink Heart to be a significant part of their love story. Right, Ian is in the chat right now. Ian got married at Pink Heart. Millie and Ian's wedding was super badass. Super badass. They had special magical jackets that were made for them and they had jetpacks. Wedding jetpacks. Think about that. That's something special. Alright, well, I'm getting close to finishing my beer, and if I have a second, I think we know what happens when I have a second beer. It suddenly becomes a broadcast that needs to be deleted. So, we'll just maybe enjoy the sunset a little bit together. And if there's something on your mind, jetpacks of love. That's not code. That's legit. Super Tall, what a treat to see you. Welcome to the sunset. We are enjoying the miracle of our planet and enduring the loquacious rambling of me. So, what a treat to share this beauty with you. Natalie's saying she slept in pink art through the burn night. I'm glad to hear that. I had a quite traumatic burn night, which I will hold on to that story because it includes details that are not ready for prime time, but we'll just say the burn is about triumphs and struggles, and nothing makes a good burn like getting your edges pushed. Living on the edge can cut sometimes. We were listening to David Starfire's mix, Radical Ritual. It's freaking inspired. You are so welcome, Christina. You know, I had an experience at the eclipse this year. Like, one reason why I love being so close to the ocean is because I find the ocean to be a super grounding experience. The vastness of it makes my anxieties dissipate, and knowing that the waves that are crashing have been crashing long before I was alive, and they will be crashing long after I'm dead. And I find that to be very soothing in reducing the importance of my issues. And at the eclipse, I had that experience times a million. That experience during the totality of feeling planet, star, me, this alignment in this momentary 2 minutes of breath of like this single breath of this unfathomably long timeline. I just felt so small and so insignificant in such a beautiful and calming way. And then it was so perfect to go to Burning Man and have this okay, so nothing matters. That being said, do shit that matters. Arbitrarily create meaning. Align with your highest self. Find your, don't compromise. Do something freaking awesome. Because it doesn't matter anyway. So make it badass. So this sunset, this ocean is a piece of that eclipse magic. Thank you, Mark. And Charles, welcome. Thank you, Agnes. Wow, love from New Zealand and Calgary. Man, we got a big planet. That's kind of mind-blowing. And yet, the sun sets every night for all of us. Just so you know, we are getting ready to say goodbye to the sun. We are going to entrust it to you guys for a little bit. So be good stewards, because we want it back tomorrow, okay? And kisses from Toronto. You know, just so you know, they're consensual kisses, so you can use tongue if you like. And Brazil? You're kidding me! Boom! Other areas besides the Bay Area that matter. I'm in San Diego, so you're not going to get a lot of sympathy for Bay Area importance from me. Meg McDonough, who I believe is beach camping right now, so you might be enjoying the same sunset as me. Boom! And love from San Francisco. If you have got your hands on the keyboard and you want to share where you are physically, it's kind of fun to visualize where all the nodes of this kind of connection is happening right now. can you hear the song? We got a little like remix of Bruce Lee's voice, like water. This is the David Starfire Radical Ritual mix. This is the, oh my gosh, listen to this. This is the West Coast Sunset. I'd like to take credit for that, but that's really all, that's all divinity kicking in right there. We got Vallejo, California. We got Illinois. Right on. It's not my view, it's the view. I'm just enjoying it and sharing it. Boom! Maybe I should get another beer. That's always leads to questionable archives. Pinkheart at Utopia, we're still trying to figure out what the plans are going to be. It really depends on the number of people that can help. Like in the past years, sometimes I've done a lot of the setup, a lot with whatever I can fit in the Hugmobile and what I can do myself. So it looks like we've got a lot of people excited. It looks like we might make some pink couches. It sounds like we might have a location that's very central. So we might have a chill area that's near the main music stages. So we've got a Facebook group or an event that we're talking about it on. So we're trying to kind of figure that all out as we go. I'm so stoked to hear that, Mark. I feel one of my callings is to try to help people and myself make sure that Burning Man is not a 1 week a year thing, but it becomes that week is the training ground, but that it becomes something that we do and we are year round, regardless of how the world reflects. Our warrior path is one of being our highest selves, regardless of how the default world reflects back to us. So thank you. I'm stoked that if that's how if you're feeling it, then I feel like I am walking the path I'm intended to. Haha, Harley saying as my attorney tries to get another beer. Oh, the mix just ended, I think. What does that mean? That means I've been here for an hour. Oh no, it's not over. Woo! Woo! You would think after listening to this mix 40 times in the last week, I would know when it ends. Usually I've had a few beers by the end, and so I lose track of what happens next. And Mark, to come full circle, that's why, as the topic of this chat said, the reason why I said that video was the most important Burning Man video on the internet is because the whole point of it was to say Burning Man is not a week. Burning Man is the place where you align to your true self so that you can then go balls out and be that person year round. People say, why can't the world be like this year round? That's the wrong question. The question is, why am I not being that person year round? It's your job to be that person and then have the courage to be that even when the world doesn't reflect it, because eventually it will start to reflect it. And you give permission for other people to be that. I'm speaking from my life. Boom! Look at this! Look at that! I keep meaning to I feel like we're done talking, but then the sunset says, no, I'm getting ready for my encore. Maybe that means it's time for another one. I think we've talked about this. So thanks for tuning in tonight. It is, as I said earlier, I feel of service. I feel I'm a believer. I have faith. I know that Burning Man is not the way, but is a way for people to tune into their truth. And when we turn into our truth and we share our gifts, that is the medicine that the world needs. And so the more of us that do it, the more of us give permission to others to do it. And the more of us that are in alignment with our authentic, true selves, the more of us that are playing the roles large and small, the medicine that heals the world. Testify.